know. Medical aspirants who have been demanding basic transparency in the exam process now face yet another blow. The next hearing is scheduled for January 7, 2025. Meanwhile, counselling is already underway and the NEET PG 2025 dates are out. The question is, where does this leave the students? Welcome to Straight Up by EdexLive. I'm Saumya Solanki, bringing you today's top story and a fresh update on the ongoing NEET PG saga. The issue at hand? Aspirants have been pleading for the release of answer keys, raw scores and the normalisation process for the two-shift exam introduced this year. But with the repeated delays, their academic and mental well-being hangs by a thread. Adding to the confusion, the National Board of Examinations has already announced the NEET PG 2025 exam date, which is July 31st, 2025. While this gives next year's aspirants time to prepare, it leaves this year's candidates feeling sidelined, questioning if their efforts were ever valued. To help us understand what these delays mean for students and what steps are needed to address these pressing concerns, we have with us Vivek Thakur, Managing Director of Scholars Den and an expert in medical education. Here's what he has to say.
This is very unfortunate. The Supreme Court hearing for NEET PG 2024 case has again been postponed. It was supposed to be heard on 10th of December. Unfortunately, the aspirants faced a similar struggle in the NEET UG 2024 case, which forced students to come on the streets for seeking justice. What is glaring in all these cases and very strong connection in the cases is that time and again we see that hearing is postponed and ultimately the counselling schedule is so close, and in the case of NEET PG 2024 even the counselling is on the concluding phase, that ultimately the court comes up with the conclusion that since the counselling has been done or the counselling is getting delayed, we cannot do anything. And all this points to a very sad situation where students feel that they are being failed by the system and education seems to be on the low priority or probably least priority for the entire system, whether it is judiciary or the executive. In this case, Supreme Court rightly pointed out that few days before the exam, if the students are told about the change of the pattern of exam, it seems very unfair for the students because students prepare for these competitive exams, these high stakes competitive exams for years altogether. Their careers are linked to the success in these exams. So the students, if they are informed about this, number one. Secondly, a process which is not transparent doesn't enforce trust in students. Students are bound to have no trust in such a system where they are refused answer key, number one. Secondly, they are not even being told clearly about the process of normalization. Recently, we have seen that in Prayagraj there was a high stakes protest and ultimately media and government all got involved and ultimately the process of normalization, the whole process itself was withdrawn by the state government regarding a recruitment exam. Again, the issues are going in Bihar also regarding introduction of normalization. Now, in such a scenario, we should think that students are not having trust in normalization. So, even if you are forcing it on them, there must be transparency. The rules of normalizations must be in the public domain so that the students who are participating in the exams, they have trust on the process itself. And in the end, I would like to recommend all the authorities and all the respectable judges that please try to understand, we as teachers know how much efforts gets put in this preparation of these exams. Even if there is lack of trust for maybe even 10% students in the exams, it shatters the whole merit behind these exams which test merit. So if the merited part itself is weak in these exams, it's very important to restore the trust part of these exams, and such cases should not repeat where neither the government is listening to the students nor the judiciary is listening to the students. Ultimately, this will create a situation where top merit students of this country, they do not have trust in the entire system and unfortunately they migrate to developed countries and it's big loss for the entire nation.
This issue highlights the larger systemic challenges in the medical education. delays, transparency, and coordination. For the aspirants caught up in this uncertainty, it's not just about the exams, it's about the future, which is now in the hands of an inconsiderate system. That's all for now. For more updates, follow us on social media and stay tuned to EdexLive for stories that matter. This is Soumya Solanki signing off.